All right, what's up, guys? Just wanted to make a really quick video today and show you guys how my day went. This video is basically to show you guys if you guys know how to make money, you can always take massive losses and come right back. So I kind of have this over here to the side. I wanted to show you guys where my trades, where I got in, where I got out, and then as time goes on, you guys can see the trades and basically how the movements was happening. All right, so I'm gonna hit the play button and I'm gonna kind of do a commentary, and that way you guys can kind of get an idea of how I was thinking at the time, what I was seeing. So let's hit the play button. Okay, so I'm looking at MNPR. It's almost 9:30. I'm looking to jump above go time, right? So now I took an early start. I jumped in. It popped above go time, and then it just came down on me really quick. So I sold immediately, and it jumped. As you can see, it just slammed down. So now I jumped in at 9:30:05 and jumped out at 9:30:09. So I bought at 13.88 and I sold at 13.45. So I took a pretty big loss there. At that time, I was waiting for it to go back above goal time, and it just never did. It went even lower. So right then and there, I took a pretty nice big loss. And typically, I'm taking a screenshot. This is how I do my screenshot. I take a screenshot and then I send it over to the group to show the group, okay, I took a loss. Okay. So let's try to fast forward. As you can see, I watched it for a while. I watched it for quite a while. So you can see the next trade is at 10:40. So I'm going to fast forward to that 10:40. 9:40. So I'm going to fast forward it to that 9:40 area. Let's fast forward there. Fast forward, fast forward. And I was looking at a couple other stocks and nothing seemed to have enough volume. So let's just fast forward to that 940 area. Yeah, I was looking at a bunch of other stocks that were just popping up on the scanner, and there just was not enough volume, or they were far away from go time. So, at that point, I'm just being patient, and I'm kind of like, man, right off the gate, I took a big loss. Like, that's pretty big loss. So let's fast forward. This thing's taking a while to fast forward. So I'm still looking at other stocks. I'm watching to see which one's closest to go time, and just nothing was popping up. Now this one popped up, but for some reason, I checked the. This one was another one, SNES, that was popping up. It just didn't have enough volume for me, so I didn't feel like I wanted to trade that one. And everything else that I was pulling up just did not look good. This one had already broke out, so I was looking for a pullback on this one. And as you can see, look at the volume on this one. Look at the volume. It's so low. I just didn't feel comfortable trading this one. The volume is almost near zero. Even though it made a decent move, the volume is just so low. So I'm looking for something with big volume that's moving pretty big. Um, this one was actually making a nice move. UUU popped up on the screen, and I had already missed that entry. CNR was also popping up. I was actually about to trade CNR, but then I believe one of the members in the group, because I was watching this pullback here, and I was about to jump in. Okay, so let's jump into this area here. So as you can see, UUU, it just popped above. It had a nice pullback. It popped up. It had a nice little pullback, so I jumped in, and I kind of got like a late fill. I got in, but they filled me all the way up top, so I kind of got a bad fill. I was hoping to jump in right there, and I got a bad fill. I don't know why it filled me all the way at the top, but then I waited. I jumped in right there, and I sold, and for some reason I got filled down here. So once I got filled down there, as you can see, the stock is trading up there, but for some reason I got filled down there. I don't know why that happens, but sometimes that's part of the game. So you can't get mad. You just got to keep it moving. So once that happened, I was like, man, maybe it's just maybe I shouldn't be trading. But at that point, I was down so far, I didn't want to miss out. So then I took a screenshot of that and I sent it over to the group, letting the group know, I bought UUU. I jumped in and broke even. So as you can see, I jumped in at 224 and I sold at 224. So now, um, I'm still watching because this thing's not doing much. So let's fast forward to the next trade over here. Let's fast forward this one. And look at this. As soon as I as soon as I change over to something else, this thing popped all the way up. I mean, this is a nice 20-cent move if I had just held on to it, but it wasn't doing anything at the moment, so I sold and broke even. After I sold it, then it popped up, right? Then once it popped up, I actually missed that. I missed it, so I had to look for something else. So at that point, now this trade was broke even. Now IGC is my next trade at 945. So let's fast forward to that 945 area. Let's fast forward to that 945 area. And then I missed this move right here because I was watching CNR and I missed jumping in on this pullback because I switched over to UUU and I ended up missing this and then I broke even on UUU, but I missed this move right here. So now I'm like, wow, man, this is not a good start for me. So let's jump to the 45 area, 45. So I was kind of watching for a pullback. I'm getting ready to jump back in over here, but it never kind of gave me that opportunity to get in. So now here's the 945 area. So now IGC is still moving. So I switch over to IGC. I see IGC is about to break go time, so I jump in. I jump in because I saw that it was about to break over go time, and I believe Mike is the one who called it in the group. And then I took this small move right there because I saw it hesitating. But what happened was it was halting. It wasn't hesitating. It wasn't hesitating. It was halting. So sometimes the stock goes into a halt, and instead of me um I guess I was just looking at the chart and I wasn't looking at the level 2. So it halted and I sold because I saw it kind of like being choppy and I sold before the halt, which is not good. I should have held it throughout the halt, but that's what happens sometimes. So now I entered this trade at the 945 area. Which one is it? I bought here, IGC, at 125, sold at 129, only took 4 cents. So once I took 4 cents off of this one, it wasn't really a big move. So I switched over to UUU. As you can see, I jumped in right here, and I got a bad fill right there as well. This was another bad fill. So I jumped in right, I believe I jumped in right above, right around this area. It filled me all the way at the top. So I'm like, wow. So I'm like, man, is this today just not my day? Because I'm getting a few bad fills. Every time I jump in, it's filling me all the way at the top. And it's just, I'm getting super bad fills, right? So at that point, I'm holding it and hoping that it pops above. And now you can see, let's fast forward here. Let's fast forward. So it starts to climb up, but then it gives like a false breakout. So it kind of tricks you. It gives you a false breakout. And at that point, I cut my losses right there. So I stopped out right there. As you can see, I got in here. I got out there. This was UUU. So I ended up jumping in at 248 and sold at 238. So I took a 10-cent loss right there. So at this point now I'm down like almost $1,900. I'm down like 1,900, somewhere around there. And then at that point I was like, wow, okay, I got to make this money back up. And that's when I started looking for a better option. I don't panic. I just keep going and I just keep looking for better opportunities. That's just part of the game. And if I did end up with a loss, that's okay because losing is part of the game. So I'm not afraid of losing money. It's just, you know, obviously you want to make money and you want to be green. So I was watching it, and then once it did this move right there, I ended up just like saying, forget it. I don't think I want to be trading this one. So then I switched over to this one here, IGC. I ended up jumping it at the 140, what was it, 141 area. IGC, I jumped in at 141. Now this thing just popped up and we got halted, right? This was a halt. So now at 141, as you can see, I ended up selling at 162. Let me fast forward to where I'm selling. This halted for like 5 minutes. Well, 10 minutes actually, if you look at the time. It halted at like for 10 minutes. So let's fast forward here. 10 minutes. It's going to be a long fast forward. So now once it's halted, I'm looking at the areas where it will come into problems. So what I do is I click on the daily chart and I start looking at where it's going to come into some problem areas. So I'm looking for the tops of all the problem areas, like the highest points before it goes down. So now I draw my line here, I draw my line here, and I draw my line here. These are the 3 problem areas. If it goes above those areas, then it will go to the next one. Right? So that's basically how I outline where the problem areas are going to be. So now I go back to my 1 minute chart and I'm waiting for this stock to open back up. It is 9:54 on this clock. So let's fast forward here. Let's see, 9:54. We got to fast forward to like the 10:01 area. Let's fast forward like this, actually. So still waiting, still watching it. Let's go over here. Fast forward, fast forward. Okay. All right, so the stock is about to open up in about a minute. Let's see if we can, bam, fast forward a little bit. Okay, so now I know this is a problem area. I know this is a problem area. So if it gets to this point, I'm selling. And if it's going above this point, I might want to jump back in if it still looks strong, right? That's my thought process. So now the stock opens up. It's about to open up. So as you can see, 951.56. So 10 at 10:01, 56 is going to open back up. Let's fast forward a little bit. So it's going to open back up in a little bit. Okay, so it's about to open back up. So this was a 10-minute halt. So now, boom, it opens up. Bam, I'm taking profit because I see it starting to come down. And then I see it starting going back up. So I jump right back in and it crosses this line, which means I'm good to go. And now you can see my fill was at, this is IGC. As you can see, I bought right here and I sold right there at that 161 area. And then I jumped right back in at that 166 area. I jumped right back in at 166. Now I'm taking a screenshot showing the group that, okay, this is where I jumped in. I jumped in here. I jumped out there. And then I jumped right back in because I saw that it didn't drop. So I jumped right. And yes, this takes a lot of, this takes very accurate speed. Like you got to have some speed if you're going to be day trading and scalping. So you got to have some speed. So the second I saw this thing didn't flush all the way down, I ended up just jumping right back in. And then boom, it popped up. And now it's halted, and it ended up halting for another 10 minutes. If you look at the time here at 10:02, I jumped in, and then 10:12, I ended up selling for a nice little profit there. So let's fast forward this one to about, what time is that? 10:12. So let's fast forward 10:05, 10:07, 10:08, 10:09. 10:10, 10:11, 10. Okay, so let's leave it there. So now watch this. I'm in the trade right there. As you can see, it's halted at 10:02:20. So at 10:12:20, it opens back up. and watch what happens. So at that point, I'm just waiting for it to open back up, and you'll see really quick. Boom, it opens back up. I'm selling. As soon as it's about to hit that $2 mark, I end up selling, and you can see I ended up selling at 197. So that was that. And at that point, I was up $120. Obviously, there's commissions involved, so I didn't really make 120. But I don't typically count commission. I just look at the P&L. But yeah, typically, if I had just quit and gave up, right here, if I didn't know what I'm doing, I would have ended up with a very big red day. But because I know how to do this, this is a skill, you just can't lose. This, like, yes, you can take some losses, but once you know how to trade, you pretty much can always make money, is my point that I'm trying to make. Sometimes, you're going to take some losses, obviously, but when you actually understand how these things move and how to pick them and when to jump in and when to jump out, yes, you may get some bad fills. I got a few bad fills. You know what I mean? I got a few bad fills, but over here I got a very good fill, and over here I got a very good fill. So sometimes you are going to get bad fills. It is what it is. Like right there, I got a pretty bad fill. I should have got filled like somewhere right here. That's when I hit the button. I didn't, but I got filled somewhere here. So sometimes you're not going to get the greatest fills, but at the end of the day, if you understand the strategy and if you understand where to get in, where to get out, and it's just you have more chance of making money when you understand what you're doing and what you're looking at. So basically, that's what happened today. This is just a recap. Wanted to show you guys. Yeah, I almost ended up with a huge loss, but because, I know what I'm doing, I ended up pulling out with 120 bucks. Now, $120 is not a lot of money, but it feels great when you're down almost $2,000 and then you come back up and you end up green. Like, I didn't care if I was a penny green at that point. It just felt good to get away from that $2,000 loss, right? Nobody wants to lose $2,000. All right, so I'll chat with you guys tomorrow, or actually the next time I make a video, because I'm not really posting videos every day. So I'll chat with you guys another day. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this one. Again, learn this skill. You can always make money once you understand how the market works. All right, so I'll chat with you guys another day.